important to pay attention to details and to do things well. I'm a designer, I'm an artist. I want everything, just so. It's important to me that the things are perfect. However, talk about slowing down progress. It's definitely been a part of my life. I'd like to say I'm recovering now because I'm a whole lot better of letting go.
I find it interesting that you talk about letting go when you talk about reversing the perfectionism. So I'm curious, what is it that we need to let go of? Are you a professional perfectionist?
What's your plan right now? And is it actually taking you to where you want to go?
Are you a professional perfectionist? Laura, what
Who
about
told
you?
who told you? How'd you know? I thought I was hiding it well. No, I would say I'm a recovering perfectionist. Perfectionism, let me start that again. Perfectionism definitely has been a challenge in my life. I used to think it was like a badge of honor to be a perfectionist. I'd proudly say, yes, I'm a perfectionist, detail oriented. It's so important to me. And it took me a few years to realize how much it was actually hurting me. So let's get into this.
And if it's okay with you, I'm going to leave that part into the edit where you said, let me start that again, because I just think it's so cute.
And it's the perfectionist in me trying to get it right. Yep, 100%. All right, fine.
I love this. I love this. So, yeah, what is that big question? It's why is it damaging to us? What's wrong with being a perfectionist?
Yeah,
How's it holding us back?
because you could say it's great, right? Like to be, yes. I mean, it is important to pay attention to details and to do things well. I'm a designer, I'm an artist. I want everything, just so. It's important to me that the things are perfect. However, talk about slowing down progress. Like tinkering with the perfectionist mindset of trying to get everything just right before launching something or ever launching something. I mean, I can't tell you how many paintings I destroyed in my years or painted over. Don't ever x-ray one of my paintings. You'll probably see a whole nother one underneath. Like, absolutely. It's definitely been a part of my life. I'd like to say I'm recovering now because I'm a whole lot better of letting go, of just getting it out there and letting go. I'm more into the process now of just like getting the train moving and being more focused on, the outcome and getting it out there than perfections. Maybe we can tinker with it, I could fix it later. Oh, there's a spelling mistake. All right, we can deal with that. But I think it's been hard and it's been such a part of my career. I worked for the newspaper, I worked for a magazine, I work, I do graphic design. So, a spelling mistake in a client's ad is pretty bad. And I've had a couple of good ones over the years. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think a little bit of that life's, career path is, added to the perfectionism I think I naturally always had. So yeah, but it's definitely an ongoing challenge, I'd say.
I find it interesting that you talk about letting go when you talk about reversing the perfectionism. So I'm curious, what is it that we need to let go of?
I think, that's such a good question. Ooh, that is such a good question because what are you exactly letting go of? Because what are you holding on to, or what are you protecting yourself from by not letting go, right? It's a little bit of that, is it judgment? Is it fear of failure? Is it fear of, being caught? Is it fear of, the mistake being public and being ridiculed? There's all those type of things I think mull around in there subconsciously, probably a lot more than consciously.
And I think that word that you've used over and over now is fear. Fear of dot, dot, dot. Perhaps it doesn't even matter what it is we're fearful of, what it is that's scaring us. Or, as you said, at an unconscious level, fear is why we become perfectionists in the first place. Because fear is this very daunting emotion. It's an energy that will block and hold us back from doing anything that we really, really want to do. Quite often, if we want something badly, so badly, it's so important to us and we care so deeply about it, that's when the fear comes up so much. If it's doing an exam or speaking at a job interview or speaking at a pitch fest or whatever. Just come up with your own example. If you care so deeply about it, it means a lot. The fear comes up. Perhaps it's a fear of not getting it. And I think you've absolutely nailed it when you talk about fear and perfectionism. And there's that other P word that we haven't used yet, which I think is an important one in this conversation: procrastination. They all go hand in hand, right?
Yes. Yes, they do. I can procrastinate starting something that's super important because I know the perfectionist in me, is gonna make it take way longer than it needs to, or just getting it started is hard. So I'll put it off. Luckily, I work in a deadline-driven industry, so I'm quite used to having to, that no matter what, that ad's got to be to the press by Friday at 5. Like, there's nothing past that allowed. So, that helps get out of the procrastination loop because it just has to get done. But certainly been caught in the space of, putting it off, putting it off, putting it off, maybe to Friday at like 3 p.m. It's not good. That's the old me. I'm
Well,
recovering. I
there's some
told you I'm in
judgment having.
recovery. I'm in recovery. That's the old me.
Yeah. And this is a great conversation. It's a conversation that I think is so relatable. And isn't it what you said about recovering? Like already there's some judgment about now being a procrastinator. Is it okay just to say, hey, I procrastinate on things? I'm human. Are we okay with that?
We should be, right? Because I think it's very human. We all do it. And I like to think I taking like, even if I'm not doing something, I'm creatively thinking about it. Like the brain's always kind of thinking of through the problem or what the solution's going to be or what I'm going to create or make next. So even if I'm not actively doing something, I might be tinkering around in my brain a lot, which, that's not a bad thing, right?
I wonder, is that billable time? Just as an aside. I think if you were a lawyer, the answer would be yes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. A lawyer would absolutely
maybe
bill.
a conversation for another episode potentially about pricing and value and self-worth. And I think all of those things get wrapped up into this procrastination and perfectionism as well. Perfectionism's it's a compulsion. Do you know? It's something that we learn in order to get by in life, in order to feel like we belong, we are accepted, all of that childhood stuff. It's a learned behavior, perfectionism.
I think people pleasing is a big part of it too. Being part of, the tribe. We don't want to be ostracized. We want to be part of the tribe. So we want to do things at a high level, perfect, get the best grades, get into the best schools, get the best career, get the best on and on and on. That's driven by societal pressures as well.
Yes, and this ties back to a previous episode about saying yes to yourself and knowing that that's enough. Not being pushed around and influenced by what society's expectations are. We've got to do us. As entrepreneurs, we've got to do us. That's what the world is crying out for. More unique, more of us, more of our innovation. And if we just keep doing what society expects, that's not where innovation comes from. That's not the entrepreneurial path.
And it's not authentic, right? I think authenticity is where it's at. I think we gravitate to authentic people. I think authentic people are magnetic. When you're at a dinner party and there's someone that's got like just this wild laugh and you end up sitting next to them, you end up laughing the whole night with them and they're not trying to hide their laugh or like, stifle it. They're just whatever. They're being their authentic self. You just want to be around that person because they're just interesting and fun and different and you get curious and we like that, but we don't want to project those sides of us necessarily because standing out from the crowd is really scary. So we, put these things on and we try to be perfect and we do our hair and our makeup and always try to be dressed to the nines. And we put on this perfectionism with everything we do to project an image of ourselves. And yet, that's not even what's the most magnetic thing about us. It's the quirky thing, the thing that makes us a bit odd, the mole on the face or the whatever, the color of your hair or, bright pink hair. Like, it takes a lot of guts to be that person, to stand out, to wear the funky hat like everywhere. But you become super memorable when you are that person. And that's the thing I think we forget. And, when we're getting stuck in the, no, I've just got to be perfect and fit in with the crowd versus the, how do I stand out, be myself, be authentic, and go for it. And sometimes take risks. And sometimes it's a little messy and like being okay with the messy, like not having to be so perfect all the time. It's like, whoa. I mean, I feel like a rush of relief just saying that out loud because I don't think I've ever given myself permission to be messy in public before. That seems wild.
It's big, isn't it? And it filters into our business every day. This need for us to feel authentic, and yet we block ourselves or we hold ourselves back from showing who we truly are for all the learned reasons. And to be a remarkable entrepreneur, we need to unlearn some of that. We have the opportunity to unlearn some of those behaviors and to tap back into who we truly are. It brings to mind a model that I work with. It's called core, crud, crust. And it's effectively, if you can imagine, your core is you. That's who you were born as. That's you in your purpose, in all your beauty. Like, you don't know anything yet, you're a baby, yet you have everything you need for your whole life. And then the crud is the behavior that we start to learn to get by, to feel safe, to feel like we belong, to feel loved. All of these really core human needs that we all share, whether we're aware of it or not. And so these compulsions and behaviors start to develop, and that's the crud, the feelings of shame and guilt. And, even when our parents, in their greatest loving ways, knowing only what they know in that moment, maybe tell off a child in a way that smarts the child, or the child feels hurt by it. That becomes part of our crud, the stuff we hold on to. Oh, well, if I say that again, I'm going to feel the pain, so I'll never say that again. Our unconscious mind creates so much meaning to our experiences in our first 7 years. So fast forward through the psychology lesson, but then you get to this crust, and that's what you're talking about, this personality that we develop. This is what we show to the world. The crust is, there's a reason we call it personality, persona, mask. It's all the related, it's a mask. So yeah, it's fascinating field to dig into, and it's so relevant for us as entrepreneurs because our business is us and we are our business. And if we don't come to understand who we are and unlearn some of those behaviors that hold us back, like procrastination, fear of judgment, self-judgment, then we hold ourselves back and our business back. So we want to flip that. And we want to say, how can we lean into our business? How can we give more of ourselves in an authentic way to really connect with the people we serve and create that impact that we desire?
And it's so hard. I mean, it makes so much sense how you explain it, but I think we have to acknowledge how hard it is when we live in a world of filtered, Photoshop, face-tuned perfection with plastic surgery and everything, fake backgrounds. Like, you just don't even know what's real anymore. And if you are consumed by it and see it and believe it's all real, then you think you're not good enough and what you have isn't great. Do I have a good enough background to even show my face to the world on a podcast? Who am I? Like, how do you show up and be real and authentic in a world that feels so fake? I think part of it is just doing it anyway. and letting go. Like I said before, it's the letting go of the need for perfection and just being real. So I think I love the saying, your vibe attracts your tribe. So what you put out there when you're just real, when you're just you, when you're just quirky, when you're just, yourself, you're going to attract the people that are going to relate and want to be part of that. And in that, I think you have to accept the fact that there are going to be people who are also repelled away from you. And that might bring some haters, some trolls, some nasty comments. Who knows, right? It could bring all of that. And you have to kind of understand that that's part of just being public and being out there. And when you just kind of just go, okay, it is what it is. Some people are going to like me and some people aren't. It's okay. That's the messy middle. Like that's that bit where you're just allowing yourself to be messy and accepting it is what it is and going anyway, which I think goes back to what you just mentioned about purpose in there. When you have your purpose and you have your why, it kind of is easier to do it anyway. Doing it scared, doing it, where you're expanding your comfort zone, you don't really want to. I saw someone post that they posted their first video and the hardest part for them was posting it. Not even like the creating of the video, was the posting it. And I was like, I get that so deeply in my soul. I understand it so much. It's that there's that perfectionism just holding you back. And you eventually just, okay, release it. Just let it go. Just do it. And know you're gonna probably do it bad the first couple of times you do it. I mean, maybe you shouldn't go back to listen to our first podcast. I don't know how good they were. I'm not going back to listen to them. I have a hard time listening to my own voice, back on a podcast. Again, there's that perfectionism just sneaks in. It sneaks in all the time. So I think it's yeah, it's going to be an ongoing challenge, and I'm going to be in recovery for probably the rest of my life, and that's okay because I'm going to
Oh,
get help.
that's so
I'm,
beautiful. And
I'm going to ask for help all the time.
yeah, and just having awareness of it too helps you do it better. Not the perfectionism, the letting go. And I think there's one really pretty profound step everyone can take at this stage if they're relating to anything that you've just described. And I can't imagine anyone in business for themselves who doesn't relate. And that one step is to get into a group of people. Find a community that is thinking that messing up is welcome, that playing in the mud is encouraged, that being you in all your finest forms is spectacular. Get into those groups of people because our environment, the quality of the people we hang out with, determines the quality of our life, the quality of our business, and the quality of how we feel about ourselves. Your behavior will change. Your beliefs will change when you're in a group of people who believe what you are aspiring to believe.
Yeah, that's it right there, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
it. Our vibe attracts our tribe. Find your tribe, find your people. Find people, like you said, who's just a little bit above where you're trying to get to. I love that point. And I just want to restate that. Like, find the people who are what you aspire to be because you're going to lift, right? You want to be in the spaces where you're going to grow and you're going to try things and maybe mess up and be accepted and be okay. And I think entrepreneurs, especially because it's a challenging world out here, it's a crazy journey that few understand, but it's a beautiful space and there is a great community of entrepreneurs. I'll tell you, talk to us anytime. We love to talk about entrepreneurship. Hit us up, email, socials, leave us some comments. We really want to continuously have conversations that help open the doors for other entrepreneurs to just peek behind the curtains and see what this world is really all about and get the support and community that you need to get to be the absolute best version of yourselves. And we're working. I'm going to be in recovery for ages now. But that's okay. Call me out. If you see me being a perfectionist, please call me out. And I'm going to do my best to leave in the, blooper reel of this video and not ask the editor to take it out. It's all good. We're going to run with it. and we're gonna just keep going because yeah, this is a safe space, right, Vicki? This is a safe space.
This is such a safe space. It really is. And so is our WhatsApp community. So if you're not in it, please join us. It's free. We just love these conversations. We encourage people, if you feel like you're just hesitating to press post on that first video, jump in the chat and we're going to get you there. It's an exciting place to be around people who get you and get where you want to be. So see you there, and yeah, I trust that this conversation's really served you.